Oh, boy.
And here's the lab report from the Scientific Research Bureau.
Twice as light as steel.
It's quite an alloy, Mr. Majors. You could even say it's the flange of the future.
The flange of the future. A phrase well turned, Arnie. I love it. Almost as much as I love your overconfidence.
I've got it.
Hugo, please.
No, it's probably for me anyway.
Not the point, Mr. Hugo.
She's right, Arnie. There's a whole ball of wax called procedure up here in the exec wing. A little matter of formal appearance, if you will.
It's for you. See? Mrs. Hugo.
Arnie, I've got to dash, but you're perfectly right. Those research tests are ready to spring on the boys at the executive huddle this afternoon.
That's great, Mr. Majors. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Lil. Hi, honey. What? What are you talking about? Richie. Our Richie? Wait a minute. You keep him right there. Don't move. I'm coming right home. Alicia! Alicia! Get through this on the phone. I want to borrow his car because I got to get home right away.
Oh, not the kitchen sink again.
No, not this time. This time I got to fix something else. My son's wagon. Where is he? Where is he, Mr. Hippie with a head in the clouds?
Now, Arnie, shouldn't we talk first?
What's there to talk about? He got sent home from school because his hair's long, right?
Well, they did suggest that he get a haircut.
Which is exactly what he's going to get.
Well, Arnie, calm down. He's only a boy.
No, he's not. He's a young man with a lot of hair on his head and nothing inside. How come he's not eating?
We had his lunch already.
I never stopped him before. Where is he?
In his bedroom, waiting.
Thank you very much.
Now, wait just a minute. Will you remember one thing? Richard is your son, and this isn't the end of the world. Now, maybe if you just talk to him nicely.
Now, look, Lillian, you can protect him all you want, but he did get sent home from school, and I'm sorry, you're right. I get myself so tied up in knots, I don't even give him a chance to explain himself. Some father.
You're doing fine.
Thanks to you. I'll take it easy.
You promise?
I promise.
Come in.
Hi, Thacker.
Dad.
Well, how'd everything go at school today?
I think you've already got a pretty good hunch.
Well, Rich, sit up and look at me when I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. Can I talk about it?
Look, Dad, I know how you feel about long hair and stuff. I do. But you've got to understand.
Wrong. I don't have to understand anything except the horrible thought of a 43-year-old boy still sitting in his room with his hair down to here because his father let him.
Just what I thought you'd say.
Richie, can I say something?
You just did.
Oh, what is it? What is it we can't talk to each other? I'm trying to be reasonable.
Well, you are, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And I'm glad you see it. All right, now, nice and calm. What happened today?
My homeroom teacher said that my hair did not conform to the dressing code. But yesterday it was okay, though, right? I mean, is that too much?
Well, for me, your hair was too much a month ago. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, they sent me home to get a haircut. Or else.
Which is what you're going to do, or else, right?
Oh, wow, I knew you'd never understand.
Understand what?
Dad, it's not the hair. It's the principle involved. What has my hair got to do with my being a good student, huh?
It covers your ears so you can't hear anything. That's what.
Dad, that is not the point. The point is, what good is an education when I'm being robbed of my human dignity?
What good? Richard, forget you won't be able to get a decent job and be a credit to yourself. What about the basics? Did you ever try to buy a peanut butter and jelly and bologna and cheese sandwich with principle?
No, but...
Okay, then it's settled.
Thought you said you were going to be reasonable.
It was not being reasonable. Richard, take your time, think it through, and then make your choice.
Hey, I have a choice?
Of course you have a choice. Either you get a haircut tomorrow morning, Saturday, or I'll give you one myself.
But, Dad...
Final, Richard, you do as you're told.
I knew it. He never understands.
See, Lil? See what I get for being nice?
Now, finally, let me call your attention to Mr. Nouveau's summarization on page 9. I think you'll all agree that this prototype could well be called the flange of the future.
Yeah, well put.
I thought so. Ah, there he is, the man of the hour.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Majors, but I had to attend to, a personal problem.
Arnie, of course I know, just as of course you know that's not much of an excuse.
It won't happen again, I promise.
Remember, Arnie, the right man at the right place. That's the story of sound business and sound polo. Anyway, Arnie, thanks to your smashing new product report, I've set up a Monday noon meeting with Charles Hyde.
Charles Hyde? Only the biggest flange wholesaler this side of the Mississippi.
Now then, let's say we all get back to the old workbench. Chop, chop. Oh, Arnie, could I see you a moment, please?
I'm really sorry about being late, Mr. Majors. I haven't...
Arnie, you don't know me, do you? Once you apologize to Ham Majors Jr., it's forgotten. Weak excuse or no weak excuse. No, Arnie, I just wanted to have a little chat.
About what? About the report?
About image, Arnie, image, and that big Monday meeting with Charles Hyde.
I'm not sure I follow you, Mr. Majors.
You see, Arnie, as of today, there's no doubt in my mind that you've made the team.
You mean that?
Rough edges and all.
Rough edges?
Arnie, this is a little hard for me to say, but there are certain executive standards that make our continental flange image the best in the business. You know that, don't you?
I certainly do, Mr. Majors. You don't have to convince me of that at all.
Marvelous, Arnie. That's marvelous. And you'll understand that as coach to player, I've got to ask you to make one little adjustment in your team uniform.
Anything at all.
Arnie, I want you to shave off your mustache. Remember, Arnie, you're playing in a new ballpark with a whole new clean-cut set of rules. You've got to think image now.
Image?
Believe me, Arnie, I know it's not an easy thing to ask a man, so don't feel you've got to rush right into it, just as long as it's off by Monday morning. Fair enough, Arnie? Good boy.
Something happened at work today, didn't it?
How do you know?
Because I know you. You're my husband.
Yeah? How come I don't know when you're worried?
That's different. I'm your wife.
Oh. I'm going back to the bed.
Want to tell me what happened?
Where's Richard?
He's out in the garage looking for his God Save Us All poster.
I think I'll go help him.
What?
You promise you won't laugh?
Well, why should I laugh?
Promise.
Yes.
All right. After that big haircut scene with Richie this afternoon, I go back to work. Okay? Mr. Major says to me, Arnie, you got it made. Everything is wonderful. Wonderful job if you shave off your mustache.
Shave off your... Oh, Arnie.
I told you you'd laugh.
Oh, Arnie. Forgive me. But you've got to admit the timing.
Yeah, 20 years from now, I'll be hysterical. Can you imagine the right image, he says. I gotta have the right image.
Well, I'm sure there's two sides to the coin.
Yeah, both smooth.
You mean your job depends on it?
I'm not going to do it, Lil. If you don't want me to do it, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to cut it off. You don't want me to do it, right? Yes, you do. You don't?
No,
What do you want?
Remember that talk we had before you took the job about the compromises we both have to make?
Okay, if you don't care.
Oh, but, wait a minute, Arnie. Here, look at this handsome young man that I married. Doesn't look like such a bad compromise to me. Matter of fact, I think you look cuter than ever. And younger, too.
Well, I couldn't find a better way of making my point to Richie. And after all, shaving off my mustache doesn't make me a little tin soldier or anything, or a puppet. I'm still the same old me, huh? Same Arnie?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Except for one thing. You'll have to learn how to eat soup all over again. And I'll have to learn how to like Mr. Majors all over again.
You're putting me on. Majors ordered you to shave it off. You gotta be kidding.
No, it's company policy.
It's also a whole lot of nerve.
You think I'm crazy, huh?
For the money you're making? Not in a million years.
For that kind of loot, I'd shave off one of my ears, right? I bet. I just hope Lillian don't go into shock when she finds out she ain't been married to a walrus all these years.
Very funny. Trey's wild?
Yeah.
Excuse me, fellas, but better come and get it while it's really hot.
I got 5 aces, but count me out.
What's the matter with you guys? Your wives never feed you?
Hey, Lillian, I hear you're expecting a brand new upper lip in the family. Well, Rich, how you gonna feel arguing with a father that's just taken 10 years off of his face?
Yeah, well, you see, Rich has been in the garage. He doesn't know what happened.
Rich hasn't heard the news yet.
Your old man's gonna shave off his mustache.
That's right. Off it comes tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Mr. Majors thinks it's catching too much dust.
Is this a joke?
No, it's no joke. Look, you're always complaining I don't understand. Well, this time I understand. I like my mustache as much as you like your hair. But it's coming off, because I got other things to worry about besides the First Commandment.
Amendment.
Like food, clothing, and shelter. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right, stop that. I think I'm setting a very good example for you.
Oh, very good. Excellent example of selling out to an establishment that couldn't care less for your individual dignity.
Richard, I think you've had enough.
Me too. Richard, go to your room. Or better yet, go find that all-night barber. What do you do with these kids? They just won't live and learn.
Maybe I can fix him up with my Susie, and we can send them both to the moon on a family plan.
Hello.
What's this?
Oh, you know, special occasion.
Like what?
Like saying goodnight to your mustache for the last time.
You had to remind me.
Oh, shush. It's for the best, and that's that.
Okay. Proceed with the fond farewells.
Goodbye, old friend. It's been a wonderful 9 years.
What are you laughing about?
What's that old saying? Hair today, gone tomorrow.
Somehow the spell is gone. Go away.
Dad? Dad, I apologize.
What?
I apologize.
For what?
Last night.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, after all, we are two different people and with two different sets of values, and that doesn't mean you're selling out. Not when you're giving up your individual right for the rest of us. I have to admire you for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Anyway, I wanted you to know how I felt before you shaved off your mustache.
Well, you caught me just in time. Take one good last look. Well, this is it. The moment of truth. Yes, sir. The moment of truth. All right, scissors. Scissors. Little scissors! Here you go. Huh? What are you...
I'm sorry, Daddy, but I just thought of something awful. I don't have anything to remember you by. Smile. Thanks, Daddy.
What's going on here? I'm not dying. You're dying. Let's face it, Aristoteli, you're dying inside. As if you had a good reason. Because Greece was the cradle of democracy a couple of 1,000 years ago. Big deal. Even the Greece got told what to do plenty. Plenty. For their own good, too. What's the big deal? It's just a mustache. So you just... Let's try one hair here. Yeah. What's the big... It's just... Wait a minute. Yeah, let's try it. Okay. Easy. That wasn't so bad. That was just a hair. All right, let's try another one. What's a mustache? Okay.
You sure you said smile?
Any reports from the war front?
I don't know. It's been awfully quiet.
Arnie? Hey, Arnie, are you okay?
You know, something tells me we ought to just hop in the car and drive to the mountains.
Uh-oh.
Everybody ready for a little surprise?
Come on, Daddy, let's see.
You sure you said smile?
Any reports from the war front?
I don't know. It's been awfully quiet.
Arnie? Hey, Arnie, are you okay?
You know, something tells me we ought to just hop in the car and drive to the mountains.
Uh-oh.
Everybody ready for a little surprise?
Come on, Daddy, let's see.
Well, brace yourselves.
Arnie!
Sorry, Lil. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Daddy, why?
Don't tell me you chickened out.
Richard, from now on, you and I are no longer two different people from two different generations.
Huh?
You heard me. Long hair has nothing to do with good grades, just like a mustache has nothing to do with good product improvement. And I'm not drunk either.
Well, I didn't say you were.
2 snips of the scissors and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Once in a lifetime, a son can set an example for his old man.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You were right when you came in this morning and told me I was right to shave off my mustache. But what you said yesterday was righter. I mean, more right.
What'd Daddy just say?
Which is why first thing Monday morning I'm going to have a little talk with Mr. Majors. And if he doesn't like the way my image is, that's his problem.
Well, Arnie, you certainly are full of surprises.
Well, Dad, then what about my getting a haircut?
Forget it. After I talk with Mr. Majors, you and I are going to have a little talk with your homeroom teacher. But remember one thing. It's your principles I'm standing up for. As far as your head is concerned, you still look like a walking rag mop. Where's that breakfast you were going to whip up for me? I'm going to need all the energy I can store up for Monday morning.
Our whole approach to the sales meeting. There are a number of factors here. Good morning, Arnie.
Excuse me, Mr. Majors. I think I'm always late.
Arnie, am I mistaken, or have you forgotten something?
No, I have the research report right here, sir.
I guess Arnie forgot we made a little bargain Friday in the hurly-burly of his busy weekend schedule.
If you mean my mustache, Mr. Majors, I didn't forget. It's just that I would... If I could talk to you alone about it.
Arnie, no, you can't. If you've got something to say it now, before the sales meeting.
All right, then. Mr. Majors, I don't think you have the right to order me to do something which has nothing to do with my job. With all due respect.
Arnie, I wish I could offer you the same due respect, but I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Right here, Mr. Majors. If I'm doing my job, then it should be all right here. And whether or not I wear a mustache has nothing to do with it.
Arnie, are you saying that you refuse to shave off your mustache?
Well, frankly, I like my image, and my pride, and my dignity just the way it is. And my whole family agrees with me.
Marvelous. A perfect example of democracy in action. Misguided though it may be.
Well, anyway, the mustache stays, even if I gotta go.
Well, in that case, Arnie, speaking not as a human being, but as your boss, you leave me no alternative but...
Don't bother, Mr. Majors. I already had Miss Farfus type up a request for my reassignment to the loading dock.
Very well then, Arnie.
Well, if... I don't want to take your time up, gentlemen. Excuse me. Oh, one last thing. I was cleaning out my office, and I found this in the closet. I figured that I don't say as much as I really want to, so I thought maybe this would help.
What the devil could it be?
Looks like a picture.
Who's that old codger?
That old codger happens to be my great-grandfather and the founder of this Continental Flange Company.
I thought you might like your nameplate for a souvenir.
Thank you, Felicia.
I guess you know that formal goodbyes are rather commonplace in our business.
I guess they are.
Nevertheless, in spite of the fact that our association was not very long in duration, I want you to know that I've had nothing but the highest respect and admiration for the way you've conducted yourself, and I wish you all the best in your new demotion.
Seems a bit upset about our little impasse, doesn't she, Arnie?
Yes, Mr. Majors, I guess she is.
I'd gladly give up 100 chuckers of polo rather than have to say goodbye to an honest, hard-working associate.
Well...
What I have to do isn't easy. You know that, don't you, Arnie?
You mean firing me?
No, firing you is easy. I'm talking about having to rehire you. Arnie, take the old non-mallet hand and let's let bygones be bygones. I threw it out to the boys and we all agreed. We hate your mustache, but we love that naive honesty of yours.
Mr. Majors, I don't know what to say.
Save it for the sales meeting. Oh, by the way, about that picture of my great-grandfather with that marvelous mustache of his.
Oh, I tried to make a point.
You certainly did, Arnie, and believe me, it took a lot of moxie to overlook it. He was a total incompetent, Arnie. He nearly drove this Continental Flange Company right into the ground. No, it was the other things you said about judging a man on the basis of his work. That's what really got to me, Arnie. Bedrock stuff, really bedrock.
Are you telling me the truth?
You really stood your ground, huh?
Not only that, but yours truly got a trial order for 1,000 titanium flanges. That's why I forgot we were supposed to meet your homeroom teacher.
Oh, well, that's okay. I was in the middle of my trig class anyway.
What?
Yeah, I'm back in school like you're back on the job.
You mean you stood up to them all by yourself?
No, I kind of sat down for him.
In a barber's chair.
Well, it was the only way I knew how to, well, you know, show how you stood with me.
You mean you got a haircut?
Yeah.
Rich found out that the schools weren't as unrealistic as he thought they were.
What do you think, huh? What do you think?
What do I think? What I always think. You need a haircut.